Have you ever wondered why some people seem to navigate life's storms with unwavering calm, while others crumble at the first sign of trouble? The answer might lie in ancient wisdom that's more relevant today than ever before. Today, we're diving deep into 10 powerful Stoic habits that can completely transform the way you experience life. These aren't just philosophical concepts gathering dust in old books. These are practical, life-changing tools that you can start using right now. Before we begin, I ask that you leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications so you don't miss any new videos. And if you're interested, at the end of the video, access our exclusive content that's in the pinned comment. Without further delay, let's get started. The Stoics understood something profound about human nature. They knew that we can't control what happens to us, but we have absolute power over how we respond. This simple truth, when truly embraced, becomes the foundation for an unshakable life. But here's what most people miss. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or becoming cold and detached. It's about transforming your weaknesses into strengths, your vulnerabilities into power. It's about building a fortress of inner peace that no external circumstance can penetrate. So if you're ready to discover these 10 transformative habits, if you're ready to take control of your life in ways you never thought possible, then stay with me. This isn't just another video about philosophy. This is a roadmap to a more resilient, more powerful, more peaceful you. Let's begin this journey together. Habit number 1. Start your day with intention. Imagine waking up each morning not as a reactive participant in life, but as its conscious creator. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, understood that how we begin our day sets the tone for everything that follows. This isn't about complicated morning rituals or spending hours in meditation. It's about taking just a few moments before the chaos of the day begins to ground yourself in what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in ancient Rome, would begin each day by reminding himself of his values and preparing for the challenges ahead. He would say to himself, "Today I will meet interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness." But here's the crucial part. He didn't say this to fill himself with dread. He said it to prepare himself, to remind himself that these challenges are part of life and that he has the power to respond with wisdom and virtue. When you start your day with intention, you're not just planning your tasks. You're aligning yourself with your deepest values. You're reminding yourself of who you want to be, not just what you want to do. This simple practice creates an anchor point, a reference you can return to throughout the day when things get difficult. Try this tomorrow morning. Before you reach for your phone, before you check your emails, before you dive into the demands of others, take 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes to ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? What challenges might I face, and how do I want to respond to them? What really matters in the grand scheme of my life? This isn't wishful thinking. This is strategic preparation. This is you taking command of your mind before the world makes its demands. Habit number 2, practice negative visualization. Now this might sound counterintuitive, even pessimistic, but hear me out. The Stoics had a practice called negative visualization, and it's one of the most powerful psychological tools you'll ever encounter. It's not about being negative or dwelling on worst-case scenarios. It's about preparing your mind, building resilience, and paradoxically, increasing your appreciation for what you have right now. Here's how it works. Take a few moments each day to imagine losing something or someone you value. Imagine your car breaking down, your phone getting stolen, or a difficult conversation with someone you care about. The Stoics even contemplated their own death and the death of loved ones. Before you think this is morbid, understand the psychology behind it. When we take things for granted, we stop appreciating them. We become entitled, soft, vulnerable to disappointment. But when we regularly remind ourselves that everything we have is temporary, that it could all change tomorrow, something remarkable happens. We start to truly see what we have. We appreciate it more deeply. We hold it more lightly, which paradoxically allows us to enjoy it more fully. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself all the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" By mentally rehearsing loss, we rob it of its power to devastate us. We become anti-fragile, not just resilient, but actually strengthened by difficulty. But there's another profound benefit. When you practice negative visualization, you prepare yourself emotionally for life's inevitable challenges. When something difficult happens, you're not blindsided, you're not caught completely off guard. You've already been there in your mind. You've already considered how you might respond. This doesn't make you immune to pain, but it does make you more capable of handling it with grace and wisdom. Try this tonight before bed. Spend just 2 minutes imagining one thing you value being taken away. Then open your eyes and realize it's still there. Feel that surge of gratitude. That's the gift of negative visualization. It doesn't make you pessimistic. It makes you grateful, prepared, and unshakable. Habit number 3, separate what you can control from what you cannot. This is perhaps the most fundamental principle of Stoicism, and if you master this one habit alone, your life will transform. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus began his handbook with this powerful statement: "Some things are within our power, while others are not. Within our power are opinion, motivation, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever is of our own doing. Not within our power are our body, our property, reputation, office, and, in a word, whatever is not of our own doing." Think about how much of your mental energy you waste every single day worrying about things you cannot control. The weather, traffic, what other people think of you, the past, the economy, other people's opinions, other people's actions. These things are outside your control, yet how much time do you spend stressed about them? The Stoics had a radical solution. Stop caring about what you can't control, not in a nihilistic, I don't care about anything way, but in a focused, strategic way. Channel all that wasted energy into the one domain where you have complete power. Your own thoughts, your own choices, your own responses. Here's a powerful exercise. Take a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On one side, write, "Within my control." On the other side, write, "Outside my control." Now take whatever is stressing you right now and honestly assess which column it belongs in. If it's outside your control, your only rational response is acceptance. Not passive resignation, but active acceptance. Acknowledge it, adjust your expectations, and redirect your focus to what you can actually influence. If it's within your control, then you have something concrete to work with. You can make a plan, you can take action, you can improve the situation. But here's the key. Even in areas within your control, you can only control your effort, not the outcome. You can control whether you apply for the job, not whether you get it. You can control how you treat people, not how they respond to you. You can control your health habits, not whether you get sick. This distinction is liberating. When you truly internalize it, you stop being a victim of circumstance. You stop wasting energy on things you can't change. You become powerful in the only domain that truly matters: your own mind, your own choices, your own character. This is freedom, real freedom. Not freedom from difficulty, but freedom in the face of it. Habit number 4, practice voluntary discomfort. In our modern world, we've become soft. We avoid discomfort at all costs. Too hot, turn on the air conditioning. Too cold, crank up the heat. Hungry, order food to your door. Bored, scroll through endless entertainment. We've optimized our lives for comfort, and in doing so, we've made ourselves weak. The Stoics knew that comfort is the enemy of resilience. They practiced what they called voluntary discomfort. They would deliberately expose themselves to challenging conditions, not as punishment, but as training. They would fast when they had plenty of food. They would sleep on the floor when they had comfortable beds. They would walk in the rain when they could stay dry. They would endure cold when they could be warm. Why would anyone do this? Because when you voluntarily practice discomfort, you build a tolerance for it. You discover that you're stronger than you thought. You realize that many of the things you fear aren't actually that bad. You develop confidence, not from avoiding challenges, but from facing them and realizing you can handle them. Marcus Aurelius, despite being emperor, would regularly practice voluntary discomfort. He would remind himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By choosing to be uncomfortable, he was exercising that power, strengthening his mind like a muscle. Here's how you can apply this today. Start small. Take a cold shower. Skip a meal. Leave your phone at home for a day. Go for a walk in bad weather. Sleep without your usual comforts. Sit with boredom instead of immediately reaching for distraction. Have that difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Do the hard task first, instead of procrastinating. Each time you choose discomfort, you're making a deposit in your resilience account. You're proving to yourself that you can handle difficulty. You're building the psychological strength that will serve you when life inevitably brings challenges you didn't choose. The Stoics understood that we should practice poverty to prepare for it, practice loss to lessen its sting, practice discomfort to become comfortable with it. This isn't about being a masochist. It's about being prepared. It's about being strong. It's about not being a slave to your need for comfort. When you can be okay with discomfort, you become truly free. You're no longer controlled by your circumstances. You're no longer desperate to avoid pain. You become unshakable. Habit number 5, keep a daily journal. The practice of journaling was central to Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius's famous work, Meditations, was essentially his personal journal, never meant to be published. It was his private space to work through ideas, examine his thoughts, and hold himself accountable to his principles. Journaling isn't about creating perfect prose or documenting every detail of your day. It's about self-examination, about bringing your unconscious patterns into conscious awareness, about learning from your experiences. The unexamined life, as Socrates said, is not worth living. Journaling is how you examine your life. Here's what makes Stoic journaling different from regular diary keeping. It's structured around specific questions designed to cultivate wisdom and virtue. In the morning, Marcus Aurelius would prepare himself for the day ahead. In the evening, he would review his actions and thoughts, looking for lessons and areas for improvement. You can do the same. In the morning, before your day begins, write about what challenges you might face and how you want to respond to them. What virtues do you want to practice today? What kind of person do you want to be in the situations you'll encounter? This isn't just planning your tasks, it's planning your character, your responses, your growth. In the evening, spend 5 to 10 minutes reviewing your day. Where did you live up to your principles? Where did you fall short? What triggered you emotionally? How did you respond? What could you have done differently? What did you learn? This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about honest self-assessment. It's about extracting wisdom from experience. Seneca wrote, "When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, aware of this habit that's now mine, I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said, hiding nothing from myself, passing nothing by." This daily practice of self-examination becomes a powerful tool for growth. You start to see patterns. You notice what triggers you. You become aware of your automatic reactions. and awareness is the first step to change. Your journal becomes a record of your growth, a testament to your journey. When you're struggling, you can look back and see how far you've come. When you're facing a familiar challenge, you can review how you handled it before and what you learned. Your journal becomes your teacher, your therapist, your coach, all in one. Don't overthink it. Don't worry about perfect grammar or profound insights. Just write. Just examine. Just learn. This simple daily practice, sustained over time, will transform not just how you think, but who you become. Habit number 6, practice mindful observation. The Stoics were masters of attention. They understood that how we perceive things determines how we experience them. The same event can be a tragedy or an opportunity, depending on how we look at it. This isn't positive thinking or self-delusion. It's the recognition that our interpretations, not the events themselves, determine our emotional experience. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. But he took it even further. He said that we should examine our automatic interpretations, question them, and consciously choose how we frame what happens to us. This is the essence of mindful observation. Think about how you typically experience your day. Something happens, you react, you move on. There's barely any space between stimulus and response. The Stoics insisted on creating that space, on inserting conscious awareness between what happens and how you interpret it. This space is where your power lies. Here's a practical example. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Your automatic reaction might be anger. But pause. Observe that reaction without immediately acting on it. Ask yourself, is this interpretation helpful? Is it true? Maybe that person is rushing to the hospital. Maybe they're just having a terrible day. Maybe they didn't even see you. None of these explanations excuse dangerous driving, but they do change how you feel about it. The Stoic practice is to observe your initial reaction, recognize it as just one possible interpretation, and then consciously choose a more useful perspective. Not a delusional one, but a more balanced, more rational, more empowering one. This is cognitive mastery. This is freedom. Marcus Aurelius constantly practiced this. He would observe his automatic reactions and then reframe them. When someone insulted him, instead of getting angry, he would think, this person is acting according to their nature and their current understanding. How fortunate that I have the wisdom to not be disturbed by it. This isn't weakness. This is incredible strength. It's refusing to let external events control your internal state. Try this throughout your day. When something bothers you, pause. Notice your reaction. Name the emotion you're feeling. Then ask, how else could I interpret this situation? What would a wise person think about this? What interpretation would be most useful for my growth and peace of mind? This simple practice, repeated consistently, will revolutionize your emotional life. You'll discover that most of your suffering comes not from events themselves, but from your interpretations of them. And interpretations are within your control. This is immensely empowering. You're not a victim of circumstance. You're an interpreter, a creator of meaning, an architect of your own experience. Habit number 7, focus on progress, not perfection. One of the most paralyzing tendencies in modern life is perfectionism. We set impossibly high standards. We beat ourselves up for every mistake. We delay action because we're afraid of not being good enough. This is the opposite of Stoic wisdom. The Stoics were practical philosophers. They understood that wisdom isn't achieved overnight, that character is built through consistent effort, not perfect performance. Epictetus was blunt about this. No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. Growth is a process. Mastery is a journey. You don't become stoic by reading about stoicism. You become stoic by practicing stoicism, failing, learning, and trying again. This is liberating. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be better than you were yesterday. You don't have to never get angry. You just have to get less angry, less often, for shorter periods. You don't have to be completely unaffected by external events. You just have to recover faster, respond more wisely, learn more deeply. The Stoics called this progress prokope. It's the idea that virtue and wisdom are developed gradually through consistent practice. Every time you pause before reacting, you're making progress. Every time you choose a more empowering interpretation, you're making progress. Every time you act according to your principles despite fear or desire, you're making progress. Keep track of this progress. In your journal, note your small victories. When you handled something better than you would have before, celebrate it. When you caught yourself falling into an old pattern but then corrected course, that's progress. When you attempted something difficult even though you didn't do it perfectly, that's progress. The danger of perfectionism is that it makes you fragile. One mistake and you feel like a failure. You give up because you're not measuring up to some impossible standard. But when you focus on progress, you become anti-fragile. Mistakes become learning opportunities. Setbacks become chances to practice resilience. Every day becomes an opportunity to be slightly better. Seneca wrote, "It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop." This is wisdom for the real world, where progress is messy, where growth is non-linear, where we stumble and get back up and stumble again. What matters is not that you're perfect, but that you're committed. Not that you never fail, but that you never stop trying. Compare yourself to yourself, not to others. Compare yourself to who you were last month, last year, 5 years ago. Are you wiser, more patient, more courageous, more honest, more disciplined? If the answer is yes, even slightly, then you're succeeding. You're on the path. You're doing the work. This is what matters. Habit number 8. Practice sympathetic joy and universal goodwill. The Stoics weren't cold, emotionless robots. They were deeply humanistic philosophers who believed in the interconnectedness of all people. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "We were born to work together like feet, hands, and eyes, like the 2 rows of teeth, upper and lower. To obstruct each other is unnatural." This is the foundation of Stoic ethics. We are all part of one human family. This habit might be the most challenging for many people. It's about genuinely wishing well for others, even those who have wronged you. It's about feeling joy when others succeed, even if their success doesn't benefit you directly. It's about approaching every interaction with goodwill, assuming the best intentions, and responding to hostility with kindness. Marcus Aurelius practiced this constantly. Despite being emperor, despite being surrounded by people who sought to use him, betray him, or manipulate him, he would begin each day by reminding himself, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil." But here's the crucial part. He didn't stop there. He continued, "But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own, not of the same blood or birth, but the same mind, and possessing a share of the divine, and so none of them can hurt me." This is transformative thinking. When you truly see others as fellow human beings, struggling with their own confusion and pain, it becomes much harder to hate them. This doesn't mean being naive or letting people take advantage of you. The Stoics were clear about setting boundaries and protecting yourself. But it does mean not carrying anger, resentment, or bitterness. It means responding to wrong with wisdom, not with revenge. It means recognizing that when people hurt you, they're acting from ignorance, not evil. Practice this today. When someone annoys you, pause and consider, what pain might they be experiencing? What misunderstanding might be driving their behavior? How might I have acted similarly in their circumstances? This doesn't excuse bad behavior, but it does help you respond with wisdom rather than reactivity. Go further. When you see someone succeed, feel genuinely happy for them. When someone shares good news, celebrate with them wholeheartedly. When you meet someone, approach them with goodwill, assuming the best until proven otherwise. This attitude doesn't make you weak, it makes you powerful. It frees you from the prison of resentment and negativity. The Stoics believed that anger and hatred hurt us more than they hurt their targets. When you hold on to grudges, you're carrying poison. When you wish ill for others, you're polluting your own mind. But when you practice sympathetic joy and universal goodwill, you're creating an inner environment of peace and positivity. You're becoming the kind of person you want to be around. This is perhaps the highest expression of Stoic wisdom: to be good, to be kind, to be wise, regardless of how others treat you. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve the peace that comes from living according to your highest principles. Habit number 9, contemplate your own mortality. This might be the most powerful Stoic practice and the one most people avoid. Death. We don't want to think about it. We pretend it's far away. We busy ourselves with trivial concerns to avoid facing our mortality. But the Stoics insisted that contemplating death is essential for living well. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This isn't morbid. It's clarifying. When you remember that your time is limited, that this day could be your last, it changes everything. Suddenly, petty concerns fall away. Grudges seem pointless. Time becomes precious. Love becomes urgent. Living, according to your values, becomes non-negotiable. The practice the Stoics called memento mori. Remember, you must die. Keep this awareness always present, not in a depressing way, but as a motivating force. Death is the ultimate equalizer. It doesn't matter how rich you are, how famous, how powerful, we all end up in the same place. What matters is how we live the time we have. Seneca had a beautiful practice. Each night as he went to bed, he would say to himself, "I may not wake up tomorrow." Each morning when he woke, he would think, "What a gift to be alive another day." This kept him grateful, focused, and committed to living well every single day. Not someday in the future when conditions were perfect, but today, now, this moment. Here's how this practice transforms you. When you truly internalize your mortality, you stop procrastinating on what matters. You stop wasting time on things that don't align with your values. You tell people you love them. You take that trip. You write that book. You have that conversation, you forgive, you let go, you live. You also become less afraid, not fearless, but less dominated by fear. Because what's the worst that can happen? You die, you're going to die anyway. Might as well die having lived fully, having taken risks, having been true to yourself. As Seneca said, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Try this tonight. As you're falling asleep, imagine this is your last night. What would you regret not doing? Who would you regret not calling? What would you wish you had said or done differently? Then, tomorrow, wake up as if you've been given a bonus day, an unexpected gift. Because you have. Every day we wake up is a gift we didn't necessarily earn and definitely don't deserve. Live like you're on borrowed time. Because you are. We all are. This awareness doesn't make life sad. It makes it sacred. It makes every moment more vivid, more precious, more alive. This is the gift of contemplating mortality. It teaches you how to live. Habit number 10, act according to your principles, regardless of outcome. This final habit is the culmination of all the others. It's about integrity. It's about being who you say you are, living according to your values, doing what you know is right, regardless of whether it's convenient, popular, or successful. This is true Stoic strength. Marcus Aurelius faced this constantly. As emperor, he could have done anything. He could have been a tyrant, lived in luxury, indulged every desire. Instead, he woke up early, worked tirelessly for the good of Rome, lived modestly, and held himself to the highest ethical standards. Why? Because his principles demanded it, because his character required it, because he had decided who he wanted to be, and he refused to betray that person. This is the essence of Stoicism: choosing virtue over comfort, principle over popularity, character over convenience. The Stoics believed that the only true good is moral excellence, and the only true evil is moral failure. Everything else, wealth, health, reputation, success, is neither good nor bad. It's indifferent, preferable certainly, but not worth sacrificing your integrity to obtain. This is radical thinking in our modern world. We're taught that success matters most, that outcomes are everything, that the end justifies the means. The Stoics rejected this completely. They insisted that how you act, not what you achieve, determines your worth as a person. You can't control outcomes, but you can control your choices, and that's where your power and your peace lie. Epictetus was sold into slavery as a child. He was physically disabled due to abuse. By conventional measures, he had nothing, yet he developed a philosophy so powerful that it influenced emperors and continues to transform lives 2,000 years later. How? Because he refused to let circumstances determine his character. He chose to be wise regardless of his situation. He chose to be free in his mind, even when his body was enslaved. This is available to you right now. You can choose to act with integrity, regardless of whether it benefits you. You can choose to be honest, even when lying would be easier. You can choose to be kind, even when others are cruel. You can choose to be courageous, even when you're afraid. You can choose to be patient, even when you're frustrated. You can choose to be generous, even when you're not acknowledged. These choices, repeated consistently, build your character. They create an identity that can't be shaken by external circumstances. They give you what the Stoics called an inner citadel, a fortress of character that no one can breach. Others can take your possessions, harm your body, ruin your reputation, but they cannot touch your character unless you let them. Here's your practice. Identify your core principles. What do you stand for? What kind of person do you want to be? Write them down. Then, every single day, find opportunities to act according to those principles, especially when it's difficult. Each time you do, you're strengthening that inner citadel. You're becoming more yourself. You're creating an unshakable foundation for your life. This is the ultimate Stoic habit: to be good, regardless of outcome, to do what's right, regardless of reward, to live according to your highest principles, regardless of what life throws at you. This is freedom. This is power. This is peace. Conclusion: we've journeyed through 10 powerful Stoic habits that have the potential to completely transform your life. From starting your day with intention to acting according to your principles regardless of outcome, each of these practices builds on the others, creating a comprehensive approach to living well. But here's what you need to understand. Knowing these habits changes nothing. Reading about them, understanding them intellectually, even agreeing with them, none of that matters unless you act. The Stoics weren't just philosophers, they were practitioners. They lived these principles every single day, in the most challenging circumstances imaginable. Marcus Aurelius didn't write meditations for publication. He wrote it to remind himself every day of these principles, because knowing isn't enough. We must practice, we must train, we must build these habits into the fabric of our daily lives, and that's not easy. It requires discipline, it requires commitment, it requires getting back up every time you fall. But here's what I promise you. If you commit to practicing even a few of these habits, you will see changes. You'll notice yourself reacting less and responding more. You'll find yourself less anxious about things outside your control and more focused on what you can actually influence. You'll discover a growing sense of peace and resilience, even when life gets difficult. The Stoics proved that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary resilience. Through daily practice, they showed us that we don't need perfect circumstances to be happy, that we don't need everything to go our way to have peace, that we don't need external validation to know our worth. So I challenge you to start today. Pick one habit from this video, just one, and commit to practicing it for 30 days. Journal about it. Notice what changes. Notice what challenges come up. And then, once it becomes natural, add another habit. Build slowly. Be patient with yourself. Remember, progress, not perfection. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You've taken that step today by watching this video, by opening yourself to these ideas. Now take the next step. Put these principles into practice. Transform knowledge into wisdom through action. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. These practices have sustained countless people through unimaginable difficulties for over 2,000 years. They work. They're practical, they're powerful. They're waiting for you to claim them. I want to express my deep gratitude for watching this video until the end. If these insights resonated with you, if you found inspiration in these ancient principles, I ask that you share your experience in the comments. Let me know which habit you're going to start practicing first. And now, as a keyword for this moment we've shared, in the comments write, "I am the master of my mind." Let's create a wave of Stoic strength and wisdom together. Thank you for being part of this journey. Until next time, remember, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength.